Why, hello everybody. How are you doing?
Hello.
I know it's been a while. We had some new developments both on my side and your side. So I've already
Mhm.
talked about my stuff, and I'm not the focus today. But we want to welcome Sarah back for the final episode. For those of you who kind of were like, "Hey, what's going on? Is she okay?" Yes, this was a good news one. So Sarah, I did kind of tell a couple people
Yay.
that it was good news. I
Yeah.
didn't share the news, but just so that they wanted to make sure, especially with the absence and no episode in November.
Yes.
So, without further ado, what is going on with you?
Oh, everything. A lot.
Yeah.
But I got offered a job and I accepted it with GlideFast. I'm going to be a process trainer with them.
Yeah.
And I start in a couple weeks. I'm really excited about it.
That is so exciting, and I'm so happy for you. I know that this was a very long journey. There was so much work that was put in just in terms of this podcast stuff, as well as in the application journey, and then also in your skill set. So, what Sarah probably worked 80-hour weeks if you were counting the hours
Yes.
um, for what we were doing on the side, plus her existing full time job, plus, being a parent and
Yes.
everything else. So I guess that probably
Yep.
makes it what? The full 168
Yeah,
hours
exactly.
each week.
I don't get any sleep, so it's okay.
So, from me to you and everyone else, congratulations.
Thank
We're so
you.
happy for you. So tell us a bit about the role. I mean, we all know Glide Fast, so we
Yes.
don't have to say
Yes.
like who's
So
that.
I will be basically training their clients on ServiceNow.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yes.
So learning, so their clients are going to come in and have their end users.
Hmm.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
that's actually a really really good idea. Could
Yes.
you imagine? And if you're out there working, um, that having that end user training would reduce, just a lot of the extra effort. It'd be
Yes.
nice to even, I mean, I hope you start out and cover this is an incident and this is an enhancement because
Yes.
that's always a
Yes.
struggle I do. But how to go through the platform and everything is fantastic. Oh, we got Jeremy on the line too. So
Hey,
thanks for
Jeremy.
joining us, Jeremy.
Thank you so much.
So,
Big shout
there's a
out to
gratitude.
him as well.
Yes. So,
So,
and that brings me right to the next
yeah.
piece is the gratitude piece. So
Yes.
there's going to be from my side, just a thank you to everybody
Mhm.
for this year and the years past
Yeah.
uh, coming out, but uh, you don't have to capture everybody, and maybe you don't have to say everybody that helped. But are there a few people you wanted to mention specifically
Yes.
today via this to
Yes.
say what they did and how they helped?
Yes. Definitely Jeremy Duncan. He introduced me to ServiceNow, and this has been 2 years in the making. And he has just supported me and encouraged me along the way, even when I felt like giving up on getting my CSA and thereafter. Big shout out to you for your mentorship for the last year. I've gained a lot of information and
Hmm.
for your support as well, because there was times, it, especially back in the beginning when we were doing the podcast, it was like, okay, do I just throw in the towel or do I keep going? And,
Hmm.
you know, just your support from all areas is
Oh,
appreciated.
you're very welcome. Happy to do it.
Yes.
Um,
And one more.
No, keep going. Let's go through all of them.
And so Chris Brunt, he was definitely,
Mhm.
always throwing out my name in conference rooms and in front of
Mhm.
people. Same with Jeremy, but he was a pivotal role in me getting this job. So I just want to shout him out and tell him thank you,
Mhm.
and everybody over at Customizo for the internship, getting real world experience.
Mhm.
They have been great and supportive whenever I had jury duty and then I had emergency surgery, like walking me through that and, you know, encouraging me to keep going. So I appreciate
Mhm.
all of them as well.
That's incredible. So that kind of speaks to the fact that nobody does this type of journey alone.
That's right.
So if you're out there trying to go it alone, build that network. We had that
Yes,
episode earlier. Go watch it to learn some tips on it, and then
absolutely.
start that journey.
Yes.
One of the other things that I really liked about how we went through this
Mhm.
was that the time frame was actually fairly realistic from what I've heard from other people
Yes.
when they're landing the first one. It took
Yes.
12 to 18 months
Yes.
is the range.
Yep.
So manage those expectations, right? You come through and you get through next gen in 3 months, you still have more to go. And
Yes.
that doesn't mean you stop, but that can influence if you want to keep forward or not, keep
Yes.
moving. And we did have a lot of conversations
Absolutely.
about, is this going to be something you want to keep doing? I've had that with other people that I've mentored outside of the podcast. And, I want you to know that just because the episodes end doesn't mean you lose my email.
Yeah. No.
Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, we,
Yeah.
we can jump on calls, we can meet, we can talk.
Mhm.
None of that stuff ends.
Yeah.
And then maybe we'll have you on an episode of Scotch Now for a six
Yeah.
month update.
Yeah. That'd be
Yeah.
great. And you
Um,
have to come to Nashville. So.
Okay, speaking of that, so Kathy had my partner Kathy had a travel tradition where she gets a Starbucks mug wherever she goes. So
Um,
I've never been to Philadelphia because I'm a Pittsburgh Penguins fan.
okay.
And I haven't been to Pittsburgh yet either. But out of all the mugs, I'm searching this morning. It took me like 15 minutes because she's got a stack of them. Now, when we go somewhere, we do that too. So I always go buy one. And
Do you have a Nashville?
Philadelphia was the closest.
Oh.
She's been to Nashville, but I can't remember if she bought it or it broke. Some of them are broken. But, you're there. Jeremy's there.
Yes.
Um, there's a few other people in the area. I know Nashville's not super close to Charlotte, but from a Vancouver West Coast perspective, if I'm
Yeah.
already, that's something that we're definitely looking at for either next year or the year after. I know they do this golf tournament, Jeremy, and
Yes.
I, as a terrible golfer, but who has a lot of fun, I'd
Yes.
like to maybe be a part of that.
Yes. So our
Mm-hmm.
developer meeting was at Top Golf in Nashville,
Ooh,
and that was really cool. That was the first time I ever
nice.
been. So we played
Okay.
for about 2 hours, and I was like the lowest one, but that's okay. So
Yeah, that's fun, right? So you're starting the new job this year, right?
yes.
And then going to hit the ground running.
Yep.
Let's talk a bit, about some of the struggles that we went through, and specifically yourself through the journey, and how did you overcome them?
Ooh, um, patience. That's like, I mean, there was probably countless months, especially back in October when I got hit with the jury duty.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And doing I work a full time job. So having to go
Mm-hmm.
and put all my focus on jury duty, and then having the internship, it was very challenging. And then right after, like the last day of my jury duty, I got hit with emergency surgery, and I was out for like 2 weeks trying to recover. So that was just in the last 60 days. It
Mm-hmm.
was really challenging, and I thought at that point that I should just stop trying to pursue it. And luckily I didn't, because me doing the demos and talking on the internship and things like that. And the last year when I taught next gen, I feel like that really helped me land the role. So,
Right.
and then just, I mean, within the last year, I mean, the interviews and the ghosting and things like that. I mean, you just have to keep, learning as much as you possibly can. Just because
Mm-hmm.
you're not, on a podcast like me, or you're not in an internship, like go watch videos and walk through the steps, get your certifications, um, reach out to people and network, because you need that support system whenever it gets rough, because it does.
Right. Well, let's just kind of recap a bit of the whole journey.
Mhm.
In our first episode was ended January. That's where we
Yep.
got to know you, discussed your previous experience, outlined the goals, your
Mhm.
desired roles, and then talked about the next steps. From there, we went into, I think that was the resume episode. Was it right away?
It
Let me
sounds like
just
it was somewhere in there.
Yes, that was the resume episode where we had the ServiceNow Duke, Robert Fedoruk, come in and provide some resume feedback that I then also incorporated. So that's a great episode, episode number 2. We also did that with Azim, and that kind of set the stage to start the application process.
Yes.
So you were already applying even before we started, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're out there going, oh, I've sent out, 100 different resumes, you're not alone with that
Yes.
piece. From
And
there, we
also,
talk. Oh, go ahead.
I was
Sorry.
going to say, whenever you apply to these places, like go in there and add people as your friend on LinkedIn, and go in there and like talk to them about the role and ask them,
Mhm.
because to me, it's not just what you know, it's who you know. And if they can support you and they get to know you at the developer meetings and things like that, like they'll vouch for you to be able to get a job. So
Yeah,
networking is really a big part of it as well.
that's true. Yes, I'm glad you called that out,
Mhm.
because networking has also just recently helped me too. So from there, we talked about the recruiter
Mhm.
perspective, and that was with Hammer
Yeah,
from Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
yeah,
And they were talking about working with recruiters and how that whole thing works and how to navigate that type of system. So, you kind of saw as we were moving through the journey, we were casting a wider and wider net. Then episode 4, and I apologize because I got to pause all these. Oh, that's 3, 4. Was yeah, talking with the mock interview, if you
yeah,
remember, with Manette. And that one was a tough one, because sometimes you're in those situations and they're asking very technical things, or they're just
yes,
asking stuff that you just don't know about.
yes,
And those interviews may leave you a little defeated, and some of them you can come out with going, I nailed that, or I did the best thing I could, and then you still don't get it, and
yes.
then
And they
enter
can love
in.
you. They can be like, "Oh, you did so great," and then you
Yeah.
still get the job. Sometimes
Yes.
it happens as well.
Then we moved into talking with Norma.
Yes.
If you want to remember that episode,
Yeah.
that one was one of my favorites, because
Yeah,
she was
mine
like,
too.
she's very intense. Like,
Mhm.
you're awesome. I cannot say the things that you say though. But she was talking about somebody and sharing the journey of someone who successfully navigated this journey and was working with it. Then we moved into the progress review, which
Mhm.
was a good time to look at where we were at, where we were still headed, and then adjust the plan if need be, right? Almost thinking like the agile methodology, but from a career perspective.
Yes.
Then we talked about the partner ecosystem with Jacob Akrush from
Yes.
EpiUse Now, and he provided some great insights on what partners look for and how to navigate that. And I believe that might have also helped you out in this area, because GlideFast is one of the largest, if not the,
Yes.
and I think Cognizant now after that acquisition of Thirdera, but they're one of the largest and definitely one of the most well-known partners in the entire ecosystem globally.
And I hear nothing but great things about them. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, me too. Me too. And shout out, speaking of Philadelphia, shout out to Grace Nanau, who lives in Philadelphia, who
Mhm.
was a recruiter and now works directly for GlideFast as
Yeah.
well.
Awesome.
hmm So we'll tag her in this one.
Yeah.
And then, we kind of, after that review episode, you and I offline talked about the issue where everyone's like, this is an entry level job, but you need 15 years of experience.
Yeah. Exactly.
That is something that I hear from so many people about this whole ecosystem. So that's when we started that real world project.
Yes.
Now, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get to finish it, but I'm still down if you are.
Yeah.
But okay,
I am.
we'll focus on that. I mean, the job first. But yes,
Yeah.
we'll do it in our spare time for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
But we had started doing a kickoff for it.
Mhm.
We were running it as a real deal project with all the stories and everything, where I would, be the BA and the architect, and you'd be the implementer.
Yes.
So we were covering that and troubleshooting it.
And that was great because I, utilized that training in the
Mhm.
internship. So
Yes.
I was like,
Yes, that's
oh, I
right.
get that.
Yeah, because we were capability training in this
Yes.
side of things. And then the last episode was about the customizable code kitchen and the ITSM retake.
Yes.
Because we've all gone through the exam stuff and been unsuccessful, and that happens. So how
Happen.
do you move on from that spot, and I think you've done that
Yes.
successfully, right? You've gone through and working on it. So what's up next for you then?
Ooh, I think right now it's going to be just diving into this job and training and, just, I mean, really just focus on that right now. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to be able to learn and just grow in that role as long as I can. So,
Well, they're lucky to have you. I know
yeah,
firsthand how hard you work and how much time and effort you'll put into it. So, keep at it, keep doing it. We're
thank
all
you.
super happy for you, super proud of you.
Thank you.
So, how did your family
Appreciate
react?
it. They were just so excited. I
Good.
probably cried a little,
That's okay.
yeah, I was
Yeah,
like,
I almost cried when telling
"Oh,
Kathy. Yeah, so
no."
you were.
So,
I was just so because
yeah,
it has
yeah,
been an epic journey. I would
yes,
say to get through this,
yes,
and I'm glad that we got to where you wanted to go, and
yes,
your foot's in the door now,
yes.
so you
So
really can
excited.
go anywhere you want in the ecosystem within GlideFast, and it's nice to. I still can't believe like you come in and go to such a heavy hitter too,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So
Yeah,
just
I'm
couldn't be
excited.
happier.
Yes.
And then when's the next dev meetup? Because now you got to go and be like, hey, I'm here
Well,
for
we just had one on
GlideFast.
Wednesday, so I just wanted to.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Was that the Top Golf one?
Yes. Yeah, that was
Mm,
awesome.
awesome. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I don't think we have any questions, but is there anything else that you'd like to share, discuss?
Um,
You know.
I don't think so. I'm just really excited and I'm ready to, get done at my job, my current one,
Mm-hmm.
and just to just dive right into it. I'm ready to
Yeah.
learn and soak up as much as I can in the next year.
Yeah. So when you're kind of finding out how the GlideFast system works,
Mhm.
try to find a mentor that can teach you the system, a mentor in your area of expertise or where you're going. I'm still here, but you want to learn from as many people as you can,
Yeah.
and trust the GlideFast people over me. If they say
Yeah.
so, if they say A and I say B,
Yes.
Chris is wrong. So just yeah. Well, I'm
Well,
so happy, so
you know,
proud of. Go ahead. Sorry.
my friend Chris over there, he's ready to train me up. So
Nice.
I'm excited for that. So
Oh, well, speaking of that, then let's talk a bit about the networking before we wrap
yeah.
here. So, networking did play a large part of this, did it
Mhm.
not?
Yes.
Okay, so how did it play a factor?
Well, so Jeremy is the one who introduced us both. We all live here in Hendersonville,
Hmm.
and so Chris went through the skill bridge, I do believe,
Hmm.
for ServiceNow, and he ended up getting like um, all his like a lot of certifications and went through that program with Herb and ended up getting a CSA like very quickly.
Hmm.
And um, let's see, then he finished that, and then he ended up like was applying. He applied and got an interview with ServiceNow, and then ended up. So he was very adamant about getting a job because he didn't have a current job, and he interviewed with the GlideFast, and they saw his skill set and he landed the job. But in the meantime, like we had been conversating about like trying to get me that role, and
Hmm.
it just happened to come up, and he gave me some told me what the role was, and then what I needed to do to be able to successfully land the interview. And I went in there and took all the information and everything I've known from being the next gen instructor. It was a lot like that, and
Hmm.
that is what landed me the job, is because I took all the information and applied it to the interview.
Yeah, that's incredible. There was a
Yeah.
lot that went into that.
Yes.
So, for those out there that are like trying to get into that new realm, it's more than I got my CSA and I've got a great resume.
Yes. And
We
I
have
had
to.
to. I will just say that um, I was traveling to Arkansas, and I had to present like a PowerPoint, but then I had to actually teach on a topic. And I will tell you that I probably did it 150 times. My husband was like, "Okay, you missed something," and I was like, "Oh man," because like he was there in the car, and I'm like have my laptop, and I'm just going at it, and he is like, um, "I have to be confident going in," and doing that 100 times is the way that I was able to go in there and land it.
Yeah, and to build that confidence.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
yeah,
right. Practice,
yes,
rehearse, all of
yes,
that stuff. So the networking was a large part because it helped you, build those connections to get the insights into how to
yes,
successfully navigate that interview process.
yes,
You had the resume that got you the interview.
mhm,
You also had the rehearsal and the practice
yes,
in the mock interview stuff. So for those people out there that think, okay, it's a CSA and then a good resume, it's much more than that.
yes,
It's not saying you can't do it, but it's just, managing your expectations and letting you know all of these things have to happen in order to increase your chances of success. Gone are the days where if you knew the N in ServiceNow was capitalized, you got the job. That was,
yes,
7 or 8 years ago.
yes,
So, and it was a long, long journey. And that's true for everybody. Even myself looking into the new opportunity that I announced this week
yeah.
was,
Congratulations.
oh, thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
Very,
That's
very happy,
exciting.
very grateful. It is. But, I started looking, in August
Yeah.
for stuff. And, you and I had discussed
Mhm.
this, and I was trying to say, like, Sarah, you're going to get this first role, and then you're going to have to do it again if you ever want to change the
Yes.
role. So, so know that even, when you've been in the ecosystem for several over 5 years, and
Yes.
I had tons of no's.
Mhm.
I had one that
Me
I
too.
was really excited to do, and I'd even worked there before, and they still had some of my, as a developer, they still were using some of my code, and I still didn't get it,
Yes.
and that's okay, right? It
Yeah.
just wasn't the right fit for them
Yes.
at the time.
Yeah, I was
So,
gonna say, even if you know all the things and you practice, sometimes it's just a matter of, there's a better opportunity out there for you. So,
mhm,
take it as a learning experience. And that's what I tell my friend. I was like, even if I don't get it, like I'm gonna take this as a learning experience because
mhm,
I know like in this situation, I have to be able to present to a team. And it's not like, hey, do you know how to do incident? No, like you actually have to teach it. And they don't
mhm,
ask you like the standard interview questions. They ask you specific questions to, what they're going to be doing. And so it was a great like learning curve to be able to say, hey, I know how to interview for this the next time.
right. Well,
Yes.
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, once again, congratulations.
Thank
So
you.
this will conclude this podcast
Mhm.
series because we hit the goal. And, at the beginning, we had said we were going to do either until you got the job or a year. And honestly, I would have kept going as long as you wanted to. But, we did have that, and we met the goal, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it wasn't on the timeline we wanted because we were hoping for a role in February, but
Okay.
but we got there.
We
So
got here.
congrats. Thank you
Patience.
for all of your hard work, all of your dedication. I kind of came in and provided, hey, go do this. And then you had to go do it. Right.
Yes.
So I definitely appreciate how much you put into this. It's more than we'll probably be able to ever express. Maybe have your husband come on an episode and he can speak to it. And I'd like to ask him some of the incident questions and see
Yeah.
what he remembers.
He probably didn't
Kathy's the
know that
same
part,
way.
but
Yeah,
he
she's the
knows.
same way. She knows some of these presentations
Yeah.
inside and out too, because she'll hear
Yeah.
me rehearse them. So
Yeah. Well,
congrats. Best
thank you.
of luck with the new role.
Thank you.
And, don't be a stranger.
Yeah, not at
I
all.
hope. Yeah. Feel free to reach out for anything, anytime.
Yeah.
Same thing. All right. Well, thank you all. Did you have anything else you want to?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks so much. Have a great
Thank
day, everybody, and
you.
we will talk soon.